Good afternoon, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. Apologies for the delay in getting on the air. Around 10 people have been killed in a school shooting at a school for adults in Örebro, Sweden. In Örebro, Sweden. This was a school for adults, and around 10 people are dead. And there's going to be a press conference with the Prime Minister and the Justice Minister, and I don't believe it's going to be in English, but I will try to show it anyway, coming up in about 20 minutes or so. I think what I'm going to do is maybe adjust the headline here. Let me show you this real quick. Some 10 people killed in attack at Swedish school for adults, gunmen believed to be dead. How about in shooting at just to get adult school on there. Let's do that. Ooh, I'm missing a letter. And you know what? Just give me a moment here. Give me one moment, guys. I want to pull something up here. Now, I am seeing, hang on a moment here, I am seeing a new report, I think. Is this new? I'm seeing a headline on Dagens Nyheter that says a dozen dead, but the story says 10 dead, so I'm a little confused about that. And then there's another one, which is Aftenbladet. They say 10 dead. Let's see. Around 10 people. Hang on. There's going to be a press conference, but I don't think in English, in 20 minutes. All right, let me show you what we know so far. You can see there some 10 people killed in attack at Swedish school for adults, gunmen believed to be among the dead. And the current time in Sweden now, 7:10 p.m. there. Last I saw, they hadn't determined a motive. Reuters says around 10 people have been killed in a shooting at an adult education center. Swedish police said the deadliest attack to take place in Sweden on what the Prime Minister said was a painful day in the country. Is this the deadliest attack ever in Sweden? Some of our reviews are saying yes. I mean, this says the deadliest attack in Sweden. I'll have to see. I'm not sure. I'm just looking at the Reuters article. The gunman is believed to be among those killed, and a search is continuing at the school for other possible victims. The perpetrator's motive was not immediately known. A local police chief said, "We know 10 or so people have been killed here today. The reason that we can't be more exact currently is that the extent of the incident is so large. There may be more dead." The police chief said police believe the gunman had acted alone and they did not currently suspect terrorism as a motive, though he cautioned that much remained unknown. Again, police said they believed the gunman had acted alone and they did not currently suspect terrorism as a motive, though he cautioned much remained unknown. He said the suspected gunman had not previously been known to police. The police chief said, "We have a big crime scene. We have to complete the searches and we are conducting in the school. There are a number of investigative steps. We are taking a profile of the perpetrator, witness interviews. Obviously, it's a significant amount of work." Police said they had opened an investigation into arson, murder, and aggravated weapons offenses, and the search for possible victims had continued into the evening. This shooting was in Örebro, around 125 miles west of Stockholm, at the Risberga School for Adults. The Risberga School for Adults who did not complete their formal education or failed to get the grades to continue to higher education. It is located on a campus that also houses schools for children. Let me read that again. The shooting took place at the Risbergska School for Adults who did not complete their formal education or failed to get the grades to continue to higher education. It is located on a campus that also houses schools for children. The Prime Minister said it is very painful. It is a very painful day for the whole of Sweden. We might get an update when the press conference happens in about 16 minutes, although, again, I think I'll have video of it, but it's not going to be in English. Let me show you what the Swedish Prime Minister said. Ulf Kristersson. He said, "It is with sadness that I have received information about the terrible act of violence in Örebro. My thoughts were with those who have been affected and their relatives." Yeah, I heard about this earlier today, and the initial report said 5 people had been shot. And then it came out more recently that at least around 10 were dead. He said, "It is a very painful day for the whole of Sweden. My thoughts are also in all those whose usual school day was exchanged for horror. Being housed in a classroom with concern for one's own life is a nightmare that no one should experience. The government is in close contact with the police authority and is closely following the development of events. The effort is still ongoing and it is important." This was from 3 hours ago. "The effort is still ongoing and it's important that the public follow information from the police. My call is now to give the police the work piece they need to investigate what happened and how these horrific crimes could happen." Let me just show you this from the Reuters article. A teacher at the school said someone threw open the door to her classroom just after lunch break and shouted everyone to get out. She said, "I took all my 15 students out in the hallway and we started running. Then I heard 2 shots, but we made it out. We were close to the school entrance. I saw people dragging injured out, first one, then another. I realized it was very serious." A hospital spokesperson told Reuters that out of the 5 patients admitted at the Örebro University Hospital, 1 had light injuries, while 4 were operated on. 2 of the latter were out of surgery and stable, while 1 had serious injuries. So it sounds like others were shot and injured, in addition to the around 10 dead. Police said students had been kept indoors at the school that was targeted and at other schools nearby for their safety. Police later began evacuating those who had taken shelter. Now it says here, Sweden has been struggling with a wave of shootings and bombings caused by an endemic crime problem. Sweden has been struggling with a wave of shootings and bombings caused by an endemic gang crime problem, but fatal attacks at schools are rare. 10 people were killed in 7 incidents of deadly violence at schools between 2010 and 2022. In one of the highest profile crimes of the last decade, a 21-year-old masked assailant driven by racist motives killed a teaching assistant and a boy and wounded 2 others in 2015. We don't have a motivation yet for this. We don't know the motive yet for this crime. Police have not come out with a motive. So we're waiting to hear from the Prime Minister and the Justice Minister, and that is coming up shortly. And, you know what, give me one moment here. Again, I don't believe it's going to be in English, but I'll show it anyway, probably. Let me do something real quick. Let me thank our moderators, too. We have Roberts May Queen, Ruth Krafasi, Beth Mythical over there on YouTube. Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha moderate for us on X. Over on Twitch, we have moderating right now A Moment of Lovely, Good Luck Duck, Hearsay. I got that fire and Surly Dev. And also, we have 2 of me. I got that. Thanks to our Facebook moderators, Kay Lowry Body, Christina Neal. Thank you also to Debbie James for the memberships and Anna Sweden. Anna Sweden says this was the deadliest attack ever in Sweden. One of the Reuters articles said that. Thank you, Froken Funkis from Sweden, and certainly condolences to the families of everybody killed and thoughts with those injured and impacted by this horrible shooting in Sweden at an adult school. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Sorry, give me one moment here. Okay, and that press conference is going to be in Stockholm, I guess. Just give me one second. I'm just getting ready to be able to show you that. Thanks for your patience. Okay. Oh, I'm also going to be checking some Swedish outlets to see if they're reporting more. Again, press conference coming up with the Prime Minister and Justice Minister in about 9 minutes. The Aftonbladet reports that the 6 people who have been taken to the emergency room are all adults. 5 were injured out of the 6, says Aftonbladet. Oh. Can I find... Checking out the Swedish police page. There, that's the one. Oh, I have an update here. I have an update from the police page. Now, this is old, though. The 5 people have been shot dead is old. Oh, no. Here we go. Look at the bottom. During the afternoon, a number of investigative measures linked... This is a new update from the police 7 minutes ago. During the afternoon, a number of investigative measures linked to the case were implemented at different addresses in Örebro. Work at the crime scene, so they've gone to different addresses in Örebro. Work at the crime scene continues with, among other things, technical personnel. At present, the police's opinion is that the perpetrator acted alone, but we cannot exclude more perpetrators related to the incident. Our view is that the perpetrator is one of the dead people. About 10, yeah, and the update happened about an hour and 20 minutes ago. That is when police said about 10 people have been killed. It looks, I just read a report that around 5 were injured. See, previously, the official update hours ago, this update was over 4 hours ago that said 5 people are shot. And then about an hour and 15 minutes ago, that official update went up to about 10 people have been killed. Again, we are waiting for a press conference coming up in a few minutes, which is not going to be in English, I don't think, but I will show you anyway. One of our viewers said around 16 injured. I haven't seen that. I just showed you, well, let me see. I'm checking some local news outlets. So Aftonbladet in Sweden says that there were 6 people taken to the emergency room in University Hospital Örebro, and the hospital says that, it sounds like, or no, a local official says that, and 5 of the 6 were injured. Again, police say that the shooter was not known to them. I'm going to take some comments in a second here. Just give me a moment. Where is... This happened around 12:30 p.m. local time. Police say they feel confident at this point that no more attacks will happen. Again, waiting for the press conference from Sweden. In the meantime, let me show you this and take some comments. About 10 killed in shooting at adult education center. Oh, by the way, let me also show you guys, what's this? Let me show you a little video here. It's not a graphic video, but let me show you this. Give me a moment. This is from the Reuters article I was just reading to you, right here. I was just reading you this article from Reuters. Several people have been shot in an attack on a school for adults in Sweden. We now know around 10 are dead. I guess that might be the school. I got to look up the school. I'll look it up on Google Earth in a second. In Örebro, Sweden. One of our viewers is saying it's not the school. We saw the name of it. Well, it's got to be near the scene. Henrik says that's not the school. All right, let me just see if I can look that up. Give me one moment here. It was the Risbergska School for Adults. Okay. Okay, I think I have the school here. I think on a map on Google Earth. As we wait for the press conference, let me just show you guys. Hold on, pulling it up here. Okay, can we click on this? That's from Google Earth, from Jenny Olsen, it says. Oh, there's like 20 pictures, there's a bunch of pictures of it, I guess. Well, that's one of them. All right, hold on a second. It says Riksberga Skolan. It's in Örebro. This might be it. Risbergska Skolan. There's a campus with other schools, I believe, on it. Swedish Mom says many schools. So, again, I'm just pulling this up here, but this is in the right town and it's the right name. Yes, the press conference is about to start. Oh, hold on a second. I have video. I have video from the press conference. Give me a moment. I got to put my headphones on. But I have a feeling that it's not going to be in English. Hang on. Hang on a moment. Hang on. All right, there is the press conference. Let me put my headphones on. We might pause for a second while my headphones get put on. One moment. Let me also fix this. this not happening? And all right, again, we're going to be hearing from the Prime Minister and Justice Minister. By the way, quick thanks to PZ Papa Zulu, Casey, Snopey, dropping in Ohio Rando. Again, we don't have an official motive yet. Hey, maybe if any of you know the language, maybe people could translate for us in the chat. Sometimes we have people who know the local language and they can translate for us in the chat. So that would be good. You know what? Give me one quick second here and let me just fix something. We are expecting a press conference. Yes, a bunch of people like Joaquin and Mickey M in this chat are saying they are Swedish and they will translate. Let me just check a couple different... I know people are sending me stuff too, so I'm just been trying to get you the latest information here. But thanks everybody who's been writing in. Let me just make sure. Oh. Associated Press says around 10 killed. And I'm going to leave it on this right now. Swedish police said around 10 people, including the gunman, were killed during a shooting at an adult education center. But a final death toll and a conclusive number of wounded have not yet been determined. The damage at the crime scene was so extensive that investigators were unable to be more definitive so far, said the local head of police. This is about 125 miles west of Stockholm in Örebro, Sweden. The perpetrator acted alone. The perpetrator was not previously known to police. Authorities have said they don't know of a connection to terrorism. Authorities said there were no suspected connections to terrorism.
Följer oss live och välkomna till dagens pressträff.
We have some...
På pressträffen medverkar statsminister Ulf Kristersson och justitieminister Gunnar Strömmer. Efter pressträffen kommer sändningen att finnas tillgänglig på regeringens webbplats, regeringen.se.
Okay, here's the press conference. Hold on. This is live.
Det är svårt att ta in vidden av det som har hänt idag. Det är mörker som nu lägger sig över Sverige ikväll. Det är med bottenlös sorg som vi har tagit emot beskedet från polisen att ett 10-tal personer har dödats och flera har skadats i en skolskjutning i Örebro. Det som bara inte får hända har nu hänt även i Sverige. Dådet skedde ungefär klockan 12.30 idag på campus Risbergska skolan i Örebro. Och mina och våra tankar är hos offren och hos deras anhöriga, vänner och familjer. Vi tänker också på alla elever
10 dead, several wounded.
Och på barn och ungdomar runt om i Örebro.
Around 10 dead.
Skoldag idag byttes ut mot inrymning och rädsla. Vi har idag sett ett brutalt dödligt våld mot helt oskyldiga människor. Det här är den värsta massskjutningen i svensk historia. Ännu saknas väldigt många svar. Och jag kan inte ge de svaren heller. Men det kommer en tid när vi får veta vad som har hänt, hur det kunde ske och vilka motiv som kan ha legat bakom. Låt oss inte spekulera. Idag vet vi att väldigt många människor, inte minst i Örebro, är djupt förtvivlade. Ge dem allt stöd som du kan. Många barn är rädda och oroliga.
Saying we seek a motive.
Och ta hand om dem och ta hand om varandra. Så
No
kan
speculating.
alla göra sin egen viktiga insats i den här djupa sorgen och smärtan. Jag vill nu vädja till alla om att ge polisen den arbetsro som de behöver för att utreda de här fasansfulla brotten. Och låt mig till sist också säga tack till lärare och elever på skolan för det mod som ni har uppvisat i en mycket, mycket svår stund. Tack till räddningstjänsten, till vårdpersonalen, till universitetssjukhuset i Örebro för ert bokstavligt talat livsviktiga arbete.
Let
Och
police
tack till
do their
polisen
work, people
som
are
idag
saying.
har skyddat andra med det egna livet som insats. Tack.
They don't know the motive yet.
Än en gång, mina och hela Sveriges tankar är idag allra främst hos de som är drabbade och deras anhöriga.
He's thanking
Vi
different
bär
responders
er
and
sorg
teachers.
också. Gunnar Strömmer, några ord om arbetet som nu fortgår.
Tack så mycket. Ja, det som har inträffat idag är förstås en fruktansvärd tragedi. Det är en händelse som skakar om hela vårt samhälle i grunden. Något som man med fasa har kunnat läsa om i andra länder men som vi tänker sånt händer inte i Sverige. Vi vet att våldsdåd på skolor har hänt tidigare i Sverige. Trollhättan 2015, Malmö 2022. Men det har inte skett i den här omfattningen. Det vi har upplevt idag, det är den värsta masskjutning som har hänt i vårt land. Det är outsägligt sorgligt. En tragedi, framförallt förstås för de drabbade och deras anhöriga. Och även mina tankar, de allra varmaste tankar man kan tänka sig, är hos alla dem. Och hos de elever och den skolpersonal vars skoldag idag blev en mardröm. Jag vill också instämma i statsministerns tack till alla som idag oförtrutet har arbetat med att rädda liv och att minimera skadeverkningarna av det här illdådet. Det är klart att i det akuta läget är svårt att ta in det som har hänt, att se alldeles klart om vad det här också betyder för vårt samhälle framåt. Vi kommer behöva återkomma till den här dagen många gånger i många olika sammanhang för att förstå det fullt ut vad det här innebär för oss.
Worst mass shooting in Sweden, is that
Så vill
true?
jag säga någonting om polisens arbete så här långt. Jag har förstås fått löpande uppdateringar under dagen och nyss också haft en lägesdragning med polisen. Och de har också lämnat information till allmänheten vid flera pressträffar under dagen. Polisen har alltså gjort en omfattande insats idag sedan larmet kom in vid 12:30-tiden. Vi vet nu att ett 10-tal personer har omkommit och utöver det så är många personer skadade. Polisen och sjukvården arbetar nu med att identifiera omkomna och underrätta anhöriga. Den person som polisen i nuläget bedömer är den primära gärningsmannen hör till de avlidna. Det rör sig om en person som inte är känd för polisen sedan tidigare. Vi vill förstås alla förstå varför, alltså vad som har hänt och vad en gärningsman kan ha haft för motiv. Vi kommer få vänta på de svaren. Tids nog ska bilden klarna. Det är någonting som den nu inledda och intensivt pågående utredningen kommer att få visa. I det här arbetet så har polisen i Örebro stöd av polisen i övriga Sverige och man samverkar också med säkerhetspolisen i det här ärendet. Polisen bedömer inte att fler attentat kommer att ske och därför så har de skolor som har varit inrymda utrymts. Under morgondagen så kommer polisen fortsätta ge allmänheten information om hur den här utredningen utvecklar sig och även jag kommer att återkomma under veckans gång. Och regeringen står förstås i mycket tät kontakt med polisen i det här läget. Tack.
Tack Gunnar. Med detta öppnar vi för frågor.
Då börjar vi med TV4 där bak. Ulf.
Ja, alltså kan det vara läge för någon slags politisk samling nu med tanke på tidigare har det ju varit mycket explosioner och skjutningar och sen så kommer det här fruktansvärda dådet. Har ni några tankar kring att samla alla partiledare och kanske göra något över blockgränsen att försöka åstadkomma någon slags politisk samling i det här läget?
Just för dagen tycker inte jag att det är läge för politik överhuvudtaget. Jag tänker inte på politik just nu, jag tänker på de anhöriga och de som har dödats. Det är än mindre läge för politisk splittring. Jag tror att vi alla står bakom polisens hårda arbete och vill veta mer innan man drar några som helst slutsatser.
Ja, min fråga var ju om det skulle vara samling istället för splittring.
Ja,
så att det
självklart. Jag tror att hela Sverige samlas bakom som då nu har drabbats av detta helt förfärliga och gör sin egen insats för att hjälpa till. Sen kommer vi få veta vad som har skett och kan dra slutsatser för framtiden.
He said this is not a moment for politics, our viewers
Så
said.
där, då tar vi en fråga längst fram där.
Grimberglund på TT Nyhetsbyrån. Hur kan man som fortsättning på frågan samla Sverige i en sorg, för det här verkligen drabbar ju ett helt land, och undvika det som kan hända, att det blir en avsky, att det blir en påföljande effekter av ett sånt här omfattande dåd?
Nej, det är en bra fråga. Jag tror att vi är väldigt många som kommer göra vad vi kan nu för att åstadkomma just detta. Det allra viktigaste gör vi ju i egna samtal med de barn och ungdomar som har väldigt många frågor som måste få svar. Alla vi som är vuxna har en uppgift, alla som är lärare har en uppgift. Jag såg att BRIS har en uppgift. Det är många som har en uppgift i det akuta läget. Sen tycker jag vi ska vänta med att dra andra slutsatser. Nu måste vi vara människor och medmänniskor. Det är den viktigaste uppgiften just nu.
Och några motiv vet vi inte om, att det finns något bakom husrannsakan som har hittats?
Alla sådana frågor måste ju riktas till poliserna. De har sagt att de inte har mer att säga för dagen i den frågan.
Då tar vi en fråga längst fram här från Sveriges Radio.
Nu är det här en skolskjutning då som har kommit till Sverige och skett på en svensk skola. Vad vill du, Ulf Kristersson, säga till de barn och ungdomar som imorgon ska gå till skolan och kanske är väldigt oroliga eller rädda?
Att det väcker ju väldigt många frågor när sånt som vi tyvärr har läst om i andra länder nu också sker i Sverige. Men polisens budskap är tydligt att de ser inte att det här finns någon ytterligare fara just nu. Skolan är inte imorgon farligare än det var igår. Så att lita på vuxna, lita på lärare, så tror jag att de flesta kommer kunna vara trygga. Men att det väcker många frågor och att det skapar rädsla, det har jag all förståelse för.
No motive so far.
Då tar vi en fråga här.
Dagens Nyheter, Linn Jönsson. Den här misstänkta gärningsmannen är inte känd av polisen sedan tidigare. Hur kommer det sig att en sån här person kan gå under myndigheternas radar?
Ja, det är naturligtvis en av de frågor som kommer vara föremål för den här kommande, eller nu inledda och pågående förundersökningen. Det vi har återgett nu är det polisen har sagt idag, så att säga några timmar efter det att den här skjutningen har ägt rum. Men vem den här personen är och vad den personen finns i för sammanhang, vad den personen har haft för bevekelsegrunder, i vilken utsträckning den personen har varit känd i något annat sammanhang i samhället. Det är ju naturligtvis väldigt berättigade frågor. Och det är förstås också frågor som är i centrum för det arbete som polisen nu bedriver. Det är naturligtvis avgörande att kunna klara ut det och kunna besvara de frågorna, men det finns inga svar i nuläget.
Vad får Örebro kommun och regionen där för stöd nu?
Jag ska själv ringa till både kommunalrådet och oppositionsrådet nu efter den här presskonferensen och fråga om vi kan göra något ytterligare. Det är en professionell organisation, så att, men kan vi bistå med någonting så kommer vi självklart göra det.
Tack. Då tar vi Svenska Dagbladet där i mitten.
Tack. Det här dådet hände ju efter en väldigt våldsam månad med många sprängningar, och du, Ulf Kristersson, sa att ni uppenbarligen inte hade kontroll över dem. Nu händer det här dådet som verkar vara orelaterat men som ändå är väldigt våldsamt och skrämmande. Vad vill ni säga till alla svenskar som känner sig rädda och otrygga i sitt land?
Ja, det första att det här är förfärliga saker som skapar rädsla och väcker många frågor. För det andra att det är bara polisen som gör och ska göra brottsutredningar. Och jag tänker inte spekulera om någonting kring själva brottsutredningen. Det vore direkt oansvarigt. Utan låt nu polisen arbeta i lugn och ro, systematiskt som de gör, och kan klarlägga vad som har hänt. Och därefter kan det finnas skäl att dra slutsatser, men jag tänker inte rusa i några slutsatser just nu.
Ni nämnde ju att sådana här dåd har inträffat i andra länder. Hur förberedda var ni på att det här skulle hända?
Den polis som jag såg intervjuad i tv sa ju att vi har ju tyvärr övat på den här sortens saker. Det har ju hänt i andra länder och nu har det tyvärr också hänt i Sverige. Så att det finns självklart beredskap också för att det allra värsta inträffar. Både hos polisen och hos annan blåljuspersonal och självklart också i politiken. Men det betyder ju inte att man inte tycker att det här är helt förfärligt.
Mycket sköts ju nu av polis och kommun och andra aktörer, men du nämnde att du är öppen för att bistå med åtgärder. Finns det någonting som regeringen gör nu med anledning av detta?
Vi tänkte be att återkomma imorgon med de kommande dygnens övriga arbete som inte är polisiärt naturligtvis. Men för stunden tänker jag kontakta de ansvariga i Örebro och fråga om det finns någonting ytterligare som vi kan göra för att göra deras arbete lite enklare.
Då tar vi fråga från Aftonbladet där borta.
Statsministern, hur gick dina tankar när du fick det här beskedet? Och kan du med trygghet säga att föräldrar och barn som står inför en ny skoldag imorgon kan känna sig trygga med att gå till skolan?
Ja, mina tankar var ju som tror jag nästan alla andra, att det var först den nyheten om att något förfärligt hade hänt innan vi insåg vidden av förfärliga. Och därefter en bekräftelse på att det var nästan värsta tänkbara. Så jag tror att mina tankar påminner väldigt mycket om många andra människors tankar. Ja, jag tror att de allra flesta föräldrar kan känna sig trygga och kommer känna sig trygga. Jag har själv nära släktingar vars barn var inrymda i skolan bredvid och har pratat med dem idag. Jag tror att det är många som förstår den rädsla det skapar. Det är många föräldrar som har en väldigt viktig uppgift ikväll att prata med sina barn. Och andra vuxna kan också göra den uppgiften. Men vi ska inte sprida skräck och rädsla nu. De allra flesta skolor är väldigt trygga platser. Och det hoppas jag att de allra flesta människor fortsätter att uppleva.
Då har vi en fråga från GP här.
Kristersson, du säger att det här är den värsta masskjutningen i svensk historia. Vad säger det om liksom det svenska samhället och situationen som vi har i Sverige just nu? Går vi in liksom en helt ny era nu? Eller vad betyder det där? Vad betyder
He said don't spread fear, according to our viewers.
Ja, vad det betyder i sak, jag sa ju samma sak. Idag är det ju mer en beskrivning av händelsen. Å ena sidan en insikt om att det har hänt allvarliga våldsdåd på skolor i Sverige tidigare. Utöver de jag nämnde så finns det också ett antal fall, också kända fall där man har fått uppgifter i förväg som har gjort att man har kunnat förhindra allvarliga våldsdåd på skolor. Och det hör ju också till bakgrundsbilden, och samtidigt så är det ju bara att konstatera, givet de omständigheter som har kommit fram idag, att i sin omfattning så är det här den värsta masskjutningen som Sverige har upplevt, och den inträffar så att säga i skolmiljö. Vad det sen så att säga betyder i ett bredare sammanhang, det är för tidigt att säga. Av det som har framkommit idag från polisens sida, och då säger jag det med den reservationen att bilden kan ju förändras när man får veta mer. Men polisen har ju exempelvis sagt att de inte ser en koppling mellan den här gärningspersonen och den gängkriminella miljön exempelvis. Och om det då visar sig stämma, även när man nu går vidare i den här undersökningen, så betyder det i sådana fall att det finns andra motiv och andra skäl, och då måste ju den här skjutningen värderas så att säga mot den bakgrunden. Och då får vi också avgöra, är det här ett uttryck för en ensam persons helt egen aktivitet? Finns det ett bredare sammanhang? Den typen av frågor är naturligtvis oerhört berättigade, och de måste också få ett svar. Men idag går det inte att dra några slutsatser alls i den delen, utan först och främst reda ut det som har hänt från polisens sida, och sen mot den bakgrunden kan man också föra en bredare samhällsdiskussion så att säga om vad det här betyder för Sverige.
Så där, då avslutar vi presskonferensen där. Justitieministern finns tillgänglig för enskilda intervjuer här efter. Tack.
Okay, that was the press conference. So some of our viewers are saying that, so is this true? Some of the viewers claimed that, well, there's no motive yet. What did they say? Did they say anything about gangs in this press conference? I mean, I believe they said there's no motive, around 10 dead, some are injured. Some of our viewers are saying that they said it was the worst mass shooting in Sweden's history. I don't know if they said anything about gangs. Don't speculate. So several of our viewers are saying not gang related. Is that true? Because the Reuters article pointed out that no gang involvement, people are saying, that they said in the chat. A bunch of people in our chat who were translating said he said no gang involvement. Reuters said that Sweden has been struggling with a wave of shootings and bombings caused by a gang crime problem. So a number of our viewers are saying he said no gang involvement. I really appreciate the people translating in the chat. The police believe this was not gang related. What else am I missing? He said around 10 dead. They said around 10 dead, some injured. Don't spread fear. Let's not speculate. Did they say something like they'll have more information tomorrow? The shooter was not known to police. Shooter is believed to be one of the dead. Yeah, this was the worst shooting in Sweden's history, I believe. I mean, Google now has it as the worst shooting in Sweden's history. Reuters said it was the worst attack in Sweden's history. A number of our viewers have said that too. A number of our viewers are saying that too. Give me one moment here. Hold on. The New York Times says that school shootings are relatively rare in Sweden, but the country has seen an increase in violent crime in recent years. Let me get some updates for you guys here. Oh, so let me show you something here. This is from Reuters. So you can see this is there's Sweden, there's the box, and it's about 125 miles west of Stockholm. Right there. See on the map? It's Örebro. Hang on a moment here. Let me just see what other photos I have for you. Sweden's worst mass shooting. Sweden's worst mass shooting. Here, this has some more. Around 10 people, including the gunman, were killed at an adult education center in what Sweden's prime minister called the country's worst mass shooting. Let me take my headphones off, by the way. We might pause for a second while I do this. Sorry about that. Give it a second. We might pause for a second here. Give me one moment. Hang on. A final death toll and a conclusive number of wounded haven't been determined. The Prime Minister, Ulf Kristersson, gave a news conference, which we just saw. Today we have witnessed brutal, deadly violence against completely innocent people, the Prime Minister said. This is the worst mass shooting in Swedish history. Many questions remain unanswered, and I cannot provide those answers either. But the time will come when we will know what happened, how it could occur, and what motives may have been behind it. Let us not speculate, he said. The damage at the crime scene was so extensive that investigators were unable to be more definitive. Earlier, said the local police chief earlier. Police believe the person acted alone. The school, called Campus Risbergska, serves students who are over age 20, according to its website. Primary and upper secondary school courses are offered, as well as Swedish classes for immigrants, vocational training, and programs for people with intellectual disabilities. Gun violence at schools is very rare in Sweden, but there have been several incidents in recent years in which people were wounded or killed with other weapons such as knives or axes. Police raided the suspect's home after the shooting, but it was not immediately clear what they found. Eyed Forest said there was no warning signs before the attack. Authorities are working to identify the deceased. Oh, Eyed Forest, by the way, is the local head of police, local police chief. The shooting erupted after many students had gone home following a national exam. A teacher told SVT News there were unusually few students on the campus Tuesday afternoon after the exam. She said she heard probably around 10 gunshots. So we know that there were around 10 dead and several injured. Our viewer Skalgrim Falak says his identity has not been confirmed. Names floating around can be false. That's Skalgrim Falak's our viewer. All right, give me a moment here. We're going to get you more updates. Going to check some of the local outlets. Let me do that. This was a school for adults. Anna Sweden says days often end at 1 p.m. or noon at these schools. Just to show you again where we're talking about, give me one moment here. Let me show you again where we're talking about. Thanks for your patience here as I pull this up. Campus Risbergska. Yeah, this is from Google Maps. The Risbergska School. And this is in Örebro, Sweden. So there's Sweden. And there's Stockholm. It's about 125 miles west of Stockholm. And if we zoom in here, there's a campus with, I believe, other schools too. Gloria says someone who failed the test maybe. We don't know if this... We have not really heard details about the shooter. Did the shooter go to the school? Did the shooter know people at the school? They have said so far, no terrorist motivation talked about so far, but do they have, they went to the shooter's house after. So what have they found out? Did they know the victims? Was there a political motive? Was there not a political motive? That I don't know. Eliza says too early yet. What are the gun laws there? Maybe we can talk about that in a second. Hang on a moment. Let me just check some different things here. And I want to check what some people are sending me. The police have said that they went to a number of different addresses in Örebro so far today to investigate this. Hang on a second. Yeah, there's very little. I mean, we don't even have I haven't even seen an age reported of the shooter, but maybe you guys have. This is the worst mass shooting in Sweden's history. There is no further danger right now, according to the Prime Minister. And the Justice Minister said that the police do not believe more attacks will happen. The perpetrator was not known to police. Earlier, it was reported that the police did not suspect terror motive, but we don't know right now. Is 35, has that been reported by police? Because I thought maybe I saw that somewhere, but I don't know that, did police say that? Did they say he was 35? I just read a couple articles. Why didn't the articles say it? The AP article doesn't mention 35. The Reuters article doesn't mention 35. So I don't know where that information is coming from. I think I read one article which mentioned that, which talked about that. $35-ish. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I saw that number in one article, but I've been reading a bunch of articles and I just don't see it anywhere. So I don't want to start committing to that number because I'm not seeing it really reliably sourced. Hang on. Let me take some comments from you guys. Celtic Girl asked if I could find the Swedish transcript. Oh yeah, I could translate it if I, as you said, if I find the transcript of the briefing. I don't have that yet. But we had people translating. We didn't really hear much big new from that briefing, from what I understand. And we had, thank you again to the viewers who were translating in our chat. But yeah, really nothing about a motive at this point so far. Hang on, checking some things. Yeah, people are sending me some things that I already have here. Our viewer over at Glass says, I live about 50 miles from there. Swedish adult school with lots of immigrants. Rumors about Swedish shooter. My opinion, says our viewer, is that the police will not fix this fast. They need external help. Patty Honk says, no, I can't, I haven't seen these, so, and I don't want to show them for various reasons, but Patty says there are photos floating around from someone who claims to show the shooter in a hallway inside the school. Let me just do a little research here and see what I can find, but I got to be careful about showing that stuff. Well, if I don't have the rights to it, I'm not going to show it anyway, but hang on. Ah, I see. So there's a video floating around that appears to show the shooter through a door, I think, which I don't have the rights to. Oh, Aftonbladet posted it. I am seeing online, it appears to have been posted by Aftonbladet. It's kind of hard to see. I'm looking at it right now, where you appear to see the shooter through a doorway with a gun. Was it with a long gun? Yeah, it looks like a long gun. Again, I don't have the rights to the photo. Yeah, let me see if I can, B&O News also posted a video too, which again, I don't have the rights to. Dibs, our viewer, says, please remember, Sweden doesn't divulge names and motives like the USA. Give the police time instead of jumping to conclusions. Let me just watch this. Give me 1 second. I haven't even listened to this video yet. Hold on. I'm going to post a link in the chat to the B&O News video, which is apparently an eyewitness video from somebody who was near the scene and you could hear gunshots. It's not graphic, but I just posted a link to that. And let me see if I can get a link for the people for that photo. Is it Aftonbladet? Do they have it on their site? I believe they posted it before. You could probably find it if you look up Swedish school shooter video. Yeah, I'm seeing some different photos of it online. One of our viewers mentioned Expressen said something, which is a Swedish outlet. Hang on. Okay, it's the worst mass shooting in Swedish history. Some people have been injured. Oh, Expressen, which is a Swedish outlet, says the perpetrator shot himself, according to information to Expressen. That has not been confirmed, but the news outlet Expressen in Sweden says, according to information to Expressen, the perpetrator shot himself. One second here. That's not going to work. I haven't even seen reported, I don't even know if they've reported what exact weapon was used. LGS says Aftonbladet and Expressen are afternoon newspapers. One of our viewers said adult school means college. No, because I know at least some of the people in the school had not graduated high school, I believe. So if you look at the Reuters has some photos. Well, these aren't, you don't see the shooter in any of these. These are just some photos from the area here. But I'll actually download these so I can show these to you. Let me just show you some of these photos here from Reuters. But let me also show you what they say about the school. It's a school for adults who did not complete their formal education or failed to get the grades to continue to higher education. It is located on a campus that also houses schools for children. And let me show you here some of the photos. Oops. These are some of these Reuters photos from earlier, obviously. Why can't I? There's a video here. In Örebro, Sweden. Their photos. So I don't even know. So they just had this press conference, and the press conference was at about 7:30 p.m. So, and I think they might have said, that maybe some of our Swedish viewers can help out. I don't know how long it would normally take in Sweden. I mean, this is the biggest mass shooting they've ever had. But like, I don't know if, would we expect that they come out later tonight and say we have another press conference, say we have a motive? Or my point is, I have no idea how long it might take for them to come out and talk about, identify the person, say who it is, and coming day. Kellen Ved says they said coming days. Identify the shooter, talk about a motive. K.S. Berga thinks no more news today. They say it will not happen today. Okay, Goscott, a number of our viewers are saying that they said no more information from police today. Okay. Again, I really appreciate our viewers who know the language and are from there. It's very helpful. Hannah Arvidsson said more press conference tomorrow. It's right now, I think it's 8:18 p.m. in Sweden right now. Again, the worst mass shooting in Sweden's history. I don't know if it's the worst attack of any kind in Sweden's history. Molamin said the Prime Minister was saying it's not time for politics. I'm seeing another video here, but I don't want to play it. But, oh, I already saw that video. I haven't seen, and I can't show it anyway, but maybe this stuff is floating around, but sometimes you see this stuff floating around. I haven't seen myself like video or shots from like inside the school or the aftermath inside the school. Again, I can't show it anyway, but if I see that stuff, I will let you know, like, if it's newsworthy, what I've seen, but I have not seen it yet. I was going to check another source here too and see. Holstrand says the Prime Minister is always very careful with his words. I have seen, by the way, as is not surprising, I've seen claims like this is the shooter or this is the shooter, and I don't have any information suggesting that those claims are reliable yet. Oh, one of our viewers mentioned Telegram, and I'd forgotten to check that. So I'll look and see what I can find from there. Hold on. Again, I can't show it, but I can let you know what I see. Hang on a second here. Kind of scrolling through a couple accounts here that I would think might post it, but I'm not seeing much from them. There's another account that might have something. There's certain accounts I follow that would post this stuff if they heard of it. Yeah, I really don't. Again, I'll keep trying to look, but I haven't seen much. One of Sleuthy TV says probably wasn't a native Swede. That I haven't heard about. So let's just go over again what we know, and I'm sorry I don't have more information for you. There's not that much. There's a lot we don't know, obviously. Oh, Reuters just updated their article for whatever that's worth. All right, about 10 people killed at Swedish school for adults. Gunmen believed to be among dead. This was an adult education center. Around 10 people are dead. It was the worst mass shooting in Swedish history. Reuters says it was the deadliest attack to take place in Sweden. The gunman was among those killed. The gunman's motive is not known. Police believe he acted alone. Earlier it was reported they do not suspect terrorism as a motive, but we don't have a motive. This was at a school, the Riksbergska School for Adults who did not complete their formal education or failed to get the grades to continue to higher education. It is located on a campus that also houses schools for children. The Prime Minister said it is hard to take the full extent in. It's hard to take in the full extent of what happened today. What has happened today? The darkness that now lowers itself across Sweden tonight. King Carl XVI Gustaf conveyed his condolences. And Reuters also said that many students in Sweden's adult school system are immigrants seeking to improve basic education and gain degrees to help them find jobs in the Nordic country while also learning Swedish. Now, I have not seen any reporting so far or anything from the authorities saying that this person was targeting immigrants. But again, it says here, many students in Sweden's adult school system are immigrants seeking to improve basic education and gain degrees to help them find jobs in Sweden while also learning Swedish. Sweden has been struggling with a wave of shootings and bombings caused by an endemic gang crime problem, but fatal attacks at schools are rare. A number of our viewers said that in the press conference we just saw a few minutes ago, a number of our viewers said that it was said in the press conference that they do not believe this was gang related. Now I can't translate that myself, but we had a number of viewers who said that in the press conference, they said it was not believed it was gang-related. One of our viewers said he had a license for the weapon. Is that true? Did it say that in the press conference, or was that some kind of report somebody made somewhere, an outlet made? Also, Sweden has it says here, Sweden has a high level of gun ownership by European standards, mainly linked to hunting, although it is much lower than in the United States, while the gang crime wave has highlighted the high incidence of illegal weapons. In one of the highest profile crimes of the past decade, a 21-year-old masked assailant driven by racist motives killed a teaching assistant and a boy and wounded 2 others in 2015. In 2017, a man driving a truck mowed down shoppers on a busy street in central Stockholm before crashing into a department store. 5 people died in that attack. Cezirik says police said they can't confirm it about a gun license. What Dankiwi said not in the press conference, but it's been reported about a license. This is probably sports shooting where you can get semi-automatic rather than a hunting rifle, I'm pretty sure. I have seen a video which I think Aftonbladet posted, which has been floating around, which appears to show the shooter inside the school. And if that's legit, it appears to me the person has a long gun. But I don't know that that's totally, that's legit. Thank you, Captain Jerry Donnelly, who says 1 firearm for every 4 people in Sweden, 1 person for every 1.2 firearms in USA. I have to look that up. Thank you, Captain Jerry Donnelly. Also, Ohio Rando, IR Geek, HM Doppelganger, Vicis Patronus, Angel Baby Max, Casey. Let me check. Oh, people were asking about gun laws in Sweden. So Wikipedia says gun ownership in Sweden is regulated by these laws. The police issue licenses to persons older than 18 in good standing on the need to have basis, which generally implies either hunting or sport shooting. Passing a hunting examination or membership in an approved sport shooting club for 6 months is required. A separate license is required for each particular firearm or caliber conversion kit. Okay. Self-defense with firearms as well as carry is generally prohibited. Carry permits can be issued by the police under very special circumstances like an immediate and demonstrable threat to life. So it certainly is stricter there than generally in the U.S. in terms of the laws. Jillian Adams says there are strict laws on how guns are stored. So according to Perplexity AI says the U.S. has an estimated 120 guns per 100 residents, whereas estimates suggest around 28% of Swedish households owned a gun. Well, that was in 2005. I don't know what the number is now. In terms of illegal weapons in Sweden, I don't know. Google AI says Sweden has strict gun laws, and a limited number of people are allowed to own firearms. So again, the worst mass shooting in Swedish history today. I don't know. We have some viewers from Sweden. I mean, obviously, this is a tragedy for Sweden, and I'm sure people are very upset about it. Is it? I don't get, is it just like utterly shocking to people in Sweden? Like if this happened in the US, it would be really tragic and people would be very upset about it, but it would not be shocking. I don't know if in Sweden this happens and people are just, utterly shocked that it happened. Alexis says it is shocking. Mr. Hex says it's shocking. Eric Perrick says, yes, it's on a different level than what's ever happened in Sweden. Wondrim says, it's extremely shocking. Mass killings like this are... I was going to read that comment here. Where is it before? The viewer said it's like on a different level. Wondrum said it's extremely shocking. Mass killings like this hit a lot different here in the EU. LB says, yes, it feels different and very shocking compared to when it happens in the US. I was talking to my mom and I said, although it's the same situation, it feels different because it's closer to home. Avicii Hit says, we are shocked, but there have been a lot of gun shootings lately, so we are kind of getting used to it. Chuxi Lee A says, we are shocked. Swede for GJT says, if a Swede did this, there will be riots for weeks. Gov lid on. I can't speak to that. Thanks, Swede, for DJT. Also, thanks to Visus Patronus, who says, you are allowed to have a weapon under lock at home if you are part of the Home Guard. The shooter has not been identified. It's a man. Reskel Rainson says, even here in Denmark, people are shocked. XRS99 says, we are used to gang shootings and bombings, nothing like this. I'll say COXBOX says, we've had shootings in neighboring countries with similar gun laws, so it was bound to happen, and it's not on a different level. We had a shooting in 1994 with 7 dead, and in Norway we had a shooting with 60 people, so not very shocking and very much expected. Distant Galaxy says, we have become more desensitized here in the U.S. Let me just see if I have any other updates for you here. A number of our viewers are saying that they don't expect, and I believe they were saying in the press conference, our viewers were saying in the press conference, they were saying that something like they didn't expect up more from the police until tomorrow. Again, Expressen, the Swedish outlets, said they're reporting that the shooter shot himself. One of our viewers, Mr. Mooney Clips, mentioned something from Aftonbladet. Let me look up Aftonbladet. I haven't seen that. A viewer claimed something about somebody claimed the shooter had 2 guns in an Aftonbladet article. Hold on, let me see. There's some other stuff from Aftonbladet. Let's see here. Hang on. Let me check what else they're reporting over there. Aftonbladet in Sweden says they interviewed a student who was in the school who said he actually saw the shooter in the school. And, I'm going to post a link. I have a link to something. Yes, I'm at this article in Aftonbladet where somebody who was in the school, Aftonbladet said, I think the shooter had 2 long weapons, one on his back and one in his hands. And there is a video posted on Aftonbladet, which I cannot show you, but it shows, like, it appears to show the shooter through the window of the school. So I'm going to post a link to video, and I just posted it in the chat. And if you open that link, you'll see on that Aftonbladet page that video, which appears to show the shooter walking down the hall of the school. Somebody from outside is taking the video through the door. As I mentioned too, one of the articles we read said that, I think it was the Reuters article, said that in Sweden, a lot of immigrants use adult schools. Many students in Sweden's adult school system are immigrants seeking to improve basic education and gain degrees to help them find jobs in Sweden while also learning Swedish. But I do not know if somebody was targeting immigrants by targeting this school. By the way, let me just check on something here. If it's still happening, we were going to cover later today President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu are going to be giving a press conference today. So I believe that's around 5 p.m. Eastern time. 5:10 p.m. Eastern time, I believe, is the start time, at least the official start time. So we will be covering that. I think, what's this? Okay, so yeah, the plan is to cover that today too, a little later on. We'll come on a bit early. Maybe we'll come on around 4 p.m. or something for that. Jonas Haglund said Swedish TV4 said the gunman was 35, not known to police. Now, we know he wasn't known to police. That was said. But I haven't seen the 35 report. But I've seen reported, but I haven't seen it from... I saw it from some other article, not a Swedish outlet. So, we might do more coverage of this if tomorrow... or the day after or something, some big news comes out on it, we could do more coverage of this. Just depending on what comes out. By the way, I really appreciate our moderators who have been here, such as like Ruth Krafasi and Beth Mythical over there on YouTube, and all of our other YouTube moderators, Linda Belk, Larry, Misha on X. On Twitch, our moderators who've been over there, like A Moment of Lovely, I Got That Fire, and Surly Dev. Thanks also, and also our Facebook moderators, Christina Neal, Paul Anderson, Kay Lowry Body. And thank you. And also, I owe a thank you to some people on Twitch now. I'm sorry for the delay. Jazzy Renee, Jack's Animals, Tander62, and Ascertainment. And thank you, Gina, our member, Captain Jerry Donnelly, Marnie, for the membership, and on YouTube, Najee's Naughty Pantry Eggs, and Visis Patronus from Sweden, who says, as a Swede, I'm sadly kind of numb. Almost daily we get news of gang shootings, grenades, etc. However, I suspect a link to the Koran burner. I believe... Somebody else mentioned some Quran burning, but I haven't heard about that. So I'm seeing BBC reported 5 days ago, man who burned Quran shot dead in Sweden. A man who sparked violent protests after burning the Quran has been shot dead in Sweden. I don't know if this has anything to do today with that. And the person who was killed in Sweden about a week ago, last week, was the person who set fire to a copy of the Quran in 2023, causing unrest. And some of our viewers are wondering if that had anything to do with this today. Here, look. This was the thing from... This is from several days ago. Salwan Mamika, 38, an Iranian refugee, was shot in a house in Sweden near Stockholm last Wednesday. Mamika had burned and desecrated copies of the Quran, the Muslim holy book, in 2023. The Prime Minister said there's a risk there's a connection to a foreign power. Back in 2023, Sweden raised its terrorism alert to the second highest level and warned of threats against Swedes at home and abroad after the Quran burnings, most of them by Momika, outraged Muslims and triggered threats from jihadists. Burning the Quran is seen by Muslims as a blasphemous act because they consider it the literal word of God. So this happened last week. Is there any relation to what happened today? I have no idea. Some of our viewers were wondering about that. This is also an update about that. Sweden releases suspects held in killing of anti-Islam campaigner. Last Friday, a Swedish prosecutor said he decided to release from detention 5 suspects who were held over the killing on Wednesday of an anti-Islam campaigner. So, again, some of our viewers are thinking there might be a connection to this. I guess maybe the thinking is that it would be attacking people, attacking Muslims or immigrants because this anti-Islam campaigner got shot and killed in Sweden last week. I have no reports that that's the case. I have no reports here. The government certainly hasn't said anything about that. I haven't seen this in Swedish media, that there is a connection between the two. Just to be clear, it's interesting that this happened last week, but I've heard nothing suggesting a connection so far. Camille thinks no connection between the stories. No Name says, I highly doubt the events are connected. Oh, Anna Sweden sent me an article from Expressen where I was looking at this. I didn't see this, though. Oh, no. It's a different one. Anna Sweden sent me an article. Okay. Thank you, Anna. Expressen reported that according to TV4 News in Sweden, the shooter had a weapons license and was wearing green clothes. Also, TV4, according to Expressen, TV4 said the suspected shooter is 35 years of age and a resident of the town and was not convicted of any crimes previously. Again, Expressen says that TV4 claimed the shooter was 35 years of age, a resident of the town of Örebro, where this happened, and not previously convicted of any crimes. There is information the man wore green clothes during the act. By green clothes, that might mean like military clothing or something. I'm not sure. Thank you, Anna, for sending that in. Our viewer, Catherine Mong, says they won't until they are absolutely sure. I think she's saying they won't like identify someone or say a motive. Excuse me. Also, our viewer, Catherine Mong, sent me something from Aftonbladet where it said that the police sent a drone to look through the window at the shooter's house. And the police have been at the shooter's house today. Also, Aftonbladet reported that the school was smoky when police got there, but it's not clear what was burning there. Patty Honk sent me a screen grab where you seem to maybe be able to see the shooter in that shot through the window. That was on Aftonbladet, possibly with a gun on his back and one holding one. Again, some reporting suggested he had two weapons. Some people sent me the video that BNO News posted it's a video taken from outside with where you just hear gunshots. You don't see the shooter in that video. I posted that on my X account. I believe I posted it there. Or did I? No, I didn't. Well, I posted a link in the chat. I'll post it one more time. I'll post that link to that video. It's not graphic one more time. Sorry, I was just checking some of the messages. A lot of people have been sending me messages. Okay, hang on a moment. And here. All right, guys. Well, at this point, let me just do one last check here. But at this point, I don't have much else to tell you. Certainly, we want to know more about who this shooter was and why they did this. But we just don't know that right now. Aftonbladet says the school will be closed tomorrow. And the municipal director said that he believes it will be closed this week, that school. No, I have not seen that. We literally just saw the press conference about 45 minutes ago and they said around 10 dead. I've seen some other reports floating around, but Aftonbladet is still saying 10 dead. Dagens Nyheter says 10 dead. So, I mean, that number could change, but I would say that around 10 is the latest reliable number. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap up this stream because we're going to come back on the air in a little bit to cover the... let me wrap this up because I have to come back on the air to cover the Trump-Netanyahu press conference. So, again, condolences to the families of the 10 people who were killed and thoughts with those injured. One report I saw said at least 5 were injured, but I don't have an exact number. Thoughts with everybody impacted by this. This is the worst mass shooting in Sweden's history. At an adult school in Sweden, we don't have a motive yet. The shooter is dead, but we don't know who this person is yet, and we don't have a motive. So I will post updates on my X account, which is @Lookner. You can follow me there for breaking news updates @Lookner right there. And so if I hear stuff tonight or tomorrow on this, I'll post it. And also, you know, if some kind of huge news comes out about it, we can always do another stream if the news lends itself to that. So subscribe, follow Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda here, Agenda Free TV. And again, I'll be back in a little bit. I'll be back. There's shortly after 5 Eastern time, in about 2 hours or so, there's a press conference with Netanyahu and Trump. So let me kind of get off the air and quickly so I can get ready to do that. But we'll be back in a little bit here on this channel. Turn the notifications on. We have a notification system. It works really well, and it'll tell you when we go live. I can't tell when breaking news is going to happen, but you can get sent a notification whenever we go live so you don't miss a stream. So turn on the notifications. It's free. And one of our viewers... no, our mods can post the link to our notification system in the chat. It's also in our description of the video on Facebook and YouTube. And I really appreciate a special thanks to those people in Sweden and who know Swedish who helped translate stuff today, who sent me some stuff from Swedish media and also helped during the press conference translate. That was a really big help, so I really appreciate that. A special shout out to all of our Swedish viewers. And thank you also to all of our moderators who have been in the chat. They're the reason that we can have chat rooms. Beth Mythical, Ruth Krafasi over there on YouTube, Linda Belk, Larry, Misha on X over there on Twitch, A Moment of Lovely, I Got That Fire, Surly Dev, Kayla Everybody, Christina Neal, Paul Anderson on Facebook. Thanks to our moderators. Thanks Gina for being a member. Thanks to everybody for supporting the channel. That's how the channel stays on the air, so I really appreciate your support for the channel. And follow us on X, Agenda Free TV. I always post there when we're going live, and I'll post updates about the channel there @Agenda Free TV. And We have a chat where you can chat with other viewers when we're not on the air. A lot of our viewers like to do that. It's our Discord chat. It's free. Check that out. It's the same link as the notifications link, and the free notifications link, and what was I going to say? Thanks to our Discord mods as well. Reminder to turn on, if you want to turn on YouTube notifications, which can be really helpful to find out when we're live on YouTube, you got to click this bell and choose all notifications. So if you're a YouTube subscriber, make sure you have the bell clicked and you've chosen all. All right. Also, shout out, I want to thank our Facebook subscribers for supporting the channel, like Robert Rial II, Eve Richards, Kay Larry Body, Margaret Riley, and Robert Rial II, Lou Green, Diane Allworth, and all of our other Martha Crawford. Thank you, Martha, for subscribing, and all of our other Facebook subscribers. Jennifer Ellers as well. Thank you, Jennifer, for subscribing. Also, thanks to our Twitch subscribers, A Moment of Lovely, Barn Isle 42 Mash, Shaggy Wall Street, Gina Pina, Simp Nasty Scrimp, A Moment of Lovely, Tegrity Farmer Bob, Night Owl, Allistic, Renton, thank you for subscribing, Twitcher 2012, and all of our subscribers over there. And our YouTube members, thanks for being members: Joe Hart, Evelyn in Maine, Medicated Unicorn, Holstrand, J.K. Sinar, Pass Me a Latte, Susan Mann, Rebecca Falsetto, Ellen Zen, Camille, Shadownet, Daniel, Hobgoblin, Plasma Stone, and all of our YouTube members. And all of our other viewers, I appreciate you tuning in for the broadcast. Again, we'll be back in just a little bit today with the Netanyahu-Trump press conference. Thank you, Hoover Maneuver, also our member over there on YouTube as well. Okay, so that is it for now. Again, around 10 dead in a shooting at an adult school in Örebro, Sweden. We don't know who the shooter is specifically. We don't have a motive yet, and we will see what police say there. So that is it for now. We'll be back a little later today with the Trump Netanyahu press conference, but that's it for now. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.